Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Lady Victoria with Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. Thank you for your patience this morning as we have had experienced some technical difficulties on this morning, but we are live in the show. And I have my special guest, Maria Perryman, with us on this morning. I hope that everyone can hear me. Maria, can you hear me okay? I don't know if is your mic on because I can't hear you. Sure, system audio. Okay. Okay, let's try it now because I still don't hear you. I don't know what's we're having all kind of difficulties this morning, but we're persevering. Okay, Maria, there should be a little button at the top of your screen. If you click that button on, it should turn blue. It's a white button at the top of your screen. So I can't hear your audio at all. I still can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let's see, maybe it's my headphones. Maybe I need to try that again. So I did have that issue earlier. Let's see. Okay. Can you hear me? But I can't hear you. Okay. I'm not sure what the problem is, but your mic should be on. Let me check my settings. Let's see. I'm going to go out and come back in. Um, Maybe it's my volume. My volume is all the way up. Um, Okay, I heard something there. Okay. Let's do that. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. You're back. I still can't hear you. It seems we have no audio for my guest. Okay.
Can
Now,
you can
yes,
you
now I can hear you. Yes.
okay. I don't know
Okay. I don't know
what
what
happened.
happened.
Can you see me?
Okay. Let me go back to you. Okay. Yes, I can see you. Yes, I can see
Okay.
you. Okay.
My lighting, my lighting right.
Get the lighting. Yes.
Some light.
And now, can you see me, Maria?
I can't see you.
You cannot see me.
No. That lighting was perfect right there. Perfect. My
Okay.
lighting
I
is
can
not.
see her. She can't see me, but I can hear you too. So that's
Okay.
good. Okay. Now let me try. Okay. Now, can
Okay.
you see me now?
I can't see you.
You still can't see me.
No. And then
Lord.
my lighting is like horrible.
Okay. That's better. Let's see.
Turn on the light overhead. Let me see. Are we on live? Oh my goodness.
Yes, we are online.
Oh, let me do this real quick and see about my lighting.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for those of you that are watching us on this morning, bearing with us as we are navigating through these technical difficulties on this morning. Once again, I'm Lady Victoria here with Victoria School of Etiquette. My special guest this morning is Maria Perryman, and many of you know her already. If you're Facebook friends with her, then you know her already, and you know the many wonderful things that she does on Facebook. She is a businesswoman. She's an educator. Well, you know what? Why don't I just let Maria tell you all about who she is and what she does?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am so sorry about my lighting. I don't know what's going on with that either, but we are here. We thank God for being here and having all the obstacles because that means that you're going to hear some information that is going to be very valuable to you, and
Yes,
it will be very prosperous as well. My name is Maria Perryman, and thank you very much, Victoria, for having me on your show. I really appreciate you. We go a ways
way
back.
back. Yes.
Children were little when we first met, and now they're all
Mm-hmm.
grown and having children of their own. So, which is a
Yes.
wonderful thing. So, if you hear any noise in the background, I'm being grandma for the next few weeks and helping out. Just had a newborn born, and I'm just excited about that and being able to be here to help out and be a
Yes.
grandma. But my name is Maria Perryman, and I am an entrepreneur, educator. I am also a wellness coach as well as a health and life insurance agent broker. And I have been holistically healed of breast cancer in 2021. When I say holistically healed, holistically, miraculously healed of breast cancer. It was a 2-year journey that God took me on. He showed me every step of the way what to do, what not to do, what health practitioner to see, what health practitioner not to see. When I said He showed me the way to
Mm.
go, He did. And I'm glad I was able to listen and follow. And when I say listen, I had to really listen to him and what he was saying to me through his word, through other people. Just it was just a tremendous journey, a tremendous blessing. Now, if you ask me
Wow.
if I want to go on that journey again, I will tell you no.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure you would not.
No, that is that I went through it. He
Yes.
makes victorious over it, and I, I'm glad I passed the test. Whatever test I had to pass, I passed it, came through with it. So I tell everybody about it, and it is just something that is a modern day miracle, and I'm glad I was able to
Wow.
be a part of it of that. So,
When you
Victoria, go ahead. Uh huh.
Yes, no, I was going to say when you talk about being holistically healed, did that mean that you only that you took like herbs and juices, no chemicals in your body? What exactly does that mean that you were holistically healed from cancer? Because that's not a story that you hear every day. So
Mm-hmm.
could you elaborate on that a little bit for us this morning?
Okay, so when I mentioned holistically heal, what that entailed was I mentioned totally being in tune to what was telling me to do. And one
Mm-hmm.
thing that he did tell us was that we are healed. We are already healed, but we just have
Yes.
to do what, excuse me, it involves. And for me, it was some drastic changes. My diet was already changed. And so that was something that I didn't have to really work on. But
Mm-hmm.
what I had to work on was realizing that this was not just an internal bodily eating, making sure I ate right
Mm-hmm.
and change, but everything, my environment, I had to change what I was using in my environment, what I was choosing using on me personally, on my body, because your skin absorbs and
Mm-hmm.
chemicals, your body's going to absorb those chemicals from your skin into your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because it was cancer, and cancer feeds on sugar and feeds on a whole lot of other things that we, really don't pay attention to,
Yes.
toxins in our bodies really trigger a lot of diseases. And so
Mm-hmm.
I had to change out. And when I say drastic, everything I didn't use and was
Mm-hmm.
half full that was toxic, I got rid of it. And
Mm-hmm.
we replaced it with, all natural, safe, eco-friendly products in our home.
Mm-hmm.
And even with what I was using on my skin, on my hair, on my body, deodorant, soap, toothpaste, mouthwash,
Wow.
everything
Everything.
you use, you had to be very careful with. And that's one
Wow.
thing that I did. I even got an air purifier, spent
Mm-hmm.
th- on getting an air purifier to make sure that the air I was breathing was also pure. And you do as
Wow.
much as you can do, right? And so you do what you can do under the circumstances, and God does the rest. When He sees you working towards um, working, your faith is working. He's going to work because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that works is dead. So me moving forward, me being drastic in what I was doing, that was my faith. That was my faith work.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, he granted my request, which was I didn't want chemo. I didn't want radiation. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
physical therapy. I didn't want to have lymphedema for the rest of my life. Those were
Right.
that I was fighting for, the quality of my life and being able to move around. And when I found out what lymphedema was, I was like, Lord, that means, you know, the rest of my life, I will have to worry about my arms swelling up at moments that might not want it to swell up, and then wearing an
Mm-hmm.
armband to make sure that the swelling goes back down. And I just couldn't imagine that for me, um,
Wow.
for the rest of my life. So
Wow. And
yeah.
I had never heard of that, so I have no idea
Hmm.
what that means.
Hmm.
But I had never heard of that. I've had family members that have had cancer, passed away from it.
Yes.
My mom had cancer,
Hmm.
and passed away from it. And
Yes.
in her case, she said it was her decision. She wanted to go home. She said the
Hmm.
Holy Spirit told her that she could decide, but she
Hmm.
decided to that she didn't want any chemo, she didn't want any therapies, she didn't want any chemicals, she didn't want any
Yes.
treatments. She said, if the God told me that I can come home, this
Hmm.
body is just, it's just dust anyway. I'm not
Yes.
taking this body to heaven. So
Hmm.
she made her election sure, and she called each one of us,
Hmm.
all of her children, and let us know that she had been diagnosed with cancer, but she was making the choice to go home to be with the Lord. And so we all gathered, came back to Chicago. Those of us that worked in Chicago, and I was living in Texas at that time, and came back to Chicago and was caregiver to my mom. But it
Hmm.
was miraculous to see her make that transition,
Hmm.
to make that transition from life to, in this earthly realm to life everlasting.
Wow.
And she would just say, when she got to the point where the pain was too much, she would just say, Lord, I need a little bit of help, just a little bit of help from you, Father. And instantly she would feel better. She would
Hmm.
feel better. So it's a miraculous experience.
Hmm.
And I think yours is as well. And we did the changing of the
Yes.
diet with her, and changed her
Yes.
environment and did all of those things. And she said, all that is fine. She said, I
Hmm.
love all of you all. I'm going to miss you. She said, but if you live right, You'll see me again.
Yes,
You'll
that's
see
it.
me
It's
again.
according to your faith.
It
It's
is
according
according to your faith.
to faith.
Yes.
Yes. So everyone's journey is different because of that. No
Hmm.
one's journey is the same, and that was just happened to be mine. And I don't discount anyone's journey if they have to have chemo and they want, they have
Right.
to go through that. Then you pray, Lord, take me through it. Take me through
Hmm.
this, because
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
can't do it without you. So whatever we
Yeah.
do, we have to do it through Him.
Right.
And so, yeah, but and I tell everyone, I
That's
don't discount
amazing.
anybody's journey with cancer because everyone's
Hmm.
is different. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
It's amazing testimony, and it's an amazing, it's a precursor in a way to
Yeah.
to what we're going to talk about, our topic this morning. I don't know, maybe at another time, I can have you on the show again to talk
Mhm.
more in detail about that. If you're desirous of doing that, we'll see what the Holy Spirit
Sure.
says about that. But
Yeah.
this morning, yes, we wanted to talk about social security. So every time I say it, I don't know, I get tongue tied. So social security benefits, for those
Mhm.
of you that are at that stage in your life where you are receiving benefits, thinking of receiving benefits, or wondering if you should at this point, if you should take it early, if you should go all the way up to the whatever the new age limit is now, 66
Mhm.
or
67.
67.9 years, which is really 68.
Mhm. It
But
goes up. Yes.
yes, it goes up. So they're giving you a longer time to work. They're giving you a
Mhm.
longer time to toil. But um, most of us know what social security is. We've paid into it all of our working years. And when you come to the age of retirement or early retirement, you're able to draw down that benefit for you
Mhm.
monthly. So I'm really just going to go through a list of my questions and have, I keep wanting to say Dr. Maria, so I don't know.
You
Been
must have
saying
heard
that.
it.
So I
Yes.
said, I don't know. I've been saying that for the past week. Every time I go to say your name, I want to say Dr. Maria Perryman. I said, well, I don't know. Maybe she's pursuing her PhD. I don't know.
Ooh, I don't
But
know either, but we'll see what God will
we'll
say.
see what God would say. Amen.
Yeah.
But anyway, can you just give us a general overview of
Mhm.
Social Security and what it
Okay.
means for most Americans today?
Okay. So I'm sorry. I thought, well, Social Security, Medicare is under Social Security, but I'll start out with just some little tidbits about Social Security. So any questions that I don't answer today, or you have more, you can always
Mm-hmm.
go to www.ssa.gov. And on that
Mm-hmm.
site is a lot of information that you can get for yourself,
Right.
especially if
Yes.
you're starting to look into retirement. I retired early. I was Chicago public school teacher for 31 years, and I came out in 2017 at
Pardon
the
me.
age of 56, going on 57, and a couple of months after I retired. And I looked into retirement for me as far as the pension aspect goes, and I knew that I was taking a penalty, um, but at that time my penalty wasn't that large. I had a really, really rare situation because I was an educator that, had the opportunity to make over $100,000 a year, because I had various teacher positions that had me like an administrator, but I wasn't. I was still in the teacher capacity, and I had a really high teacher. It was a really nice salary. And so I had to look at, with being a teacher in Chicago, they gave you a span of 10 years, right? So you had to look at that span of 10 years, and this is for the pension, and then I'm gonna segue into Social Security. But you have to look at
Mm-hmm.
we had to look at that 10-year span, and in that 10-year span, the top 4 years would be your pension amount,
Okay.
or you coming out. Well, I was looking at, actually, the longer I stayed, I would start losing. I had 5 top years where I was making over 100 grand, as
Mm-hmm.
and so those years were coming up where they were going to be deleted out. So if I
Okay.
would have waited until the time of my actual retirement period, my
Mm-hmm.
pension check, even though I took a penalty, my pension check was going to be smaller than if I than me
It's not.
at that particular time that I came out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my pension
Wow.
is a very meaty pension. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I did not take a penalty. I would have
That's
taken a
good.
penalty if I would have waited. So mine
Mm-hmm.
was reversed.
It was in your best interest to move
Mine
forward. Yes.
was reversed. And it pays. I tell everyone, look into your look into your pension. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't do that, I would not have known. And I would
Mm-hmm.
have waited until it was time for me to retire, and I would have gotten a smaller pension than what I would have
Wow.
gotten if I, yeah. So that's
Wow.
something that I tell people to do. Look into your benefits. Look into what
Mm-hmm.
you have coming to you, because you have earned everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
with that, I'm going to segue into Social Security, because
Okay.
that's something else that you need to look at, your Social Security benefits and what you have coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
So know this, that when you work and pay Social Security taxes, you earn credits towards your Social Security benefits. And those
Mm-hmm.
credits are the numbers of credits that you need to have the retirement benefits, depending on when you were born. So if you were born
Mm-hmm.
in 1929 or later, which we're in that, of course,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you need 40 credits. Okay.
Okay.
And that means 10 years of work.
Okay.
Okay. So you need 10 years of working forced with, paying out Social Security taxes. And there is a
Mm-hmm.
way that you can find out that. Usually you get a mailed copy to you 3 months before your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Mail you out your Social Security benefits information. Or you can go online, like I said, to
Right.
www.ss.gov, and you can
Mm-hmm.
out. So do that. Do your research. That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing I would tell anyone. Do your research. The
Okay.
second thing is that um, I wanted to, let me get my notes here. Um, the amount of Social Security benefits you and your family receives depends on the amount of earnings shown on your record. That's why I said do the research.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't know exactly how much we've earned in the number of years we've been working. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely based on the number of years that you've been working.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is something that you need to really know. So there is a way that you can know what you will be getting even every month in retirement
Mm-hmm.
benefits.
Okay. So let me interrupt you just for a
Mhm.
moment. You said that they take the number of years that you work. You need 40 points
40
and
credits.
40
Uh-huh.
credits, right? 40
Hmm.
credits, and you need like 10 working years. So most
Yes,
people have worked for longer than 10 years. Do they go all the way back to your working history, or do they just take the last 10 years?
they take your whole working history. Hmm.
Okay. So if you
Hmm.
started working at 16 and
Hmm.
then you decided you take early retirement, at
Hmm.
age 60. So they're
Hmm.
going to take all of those years from age 16 to 60. And that's how they compile it. Now, do they routinely do that, or are they expecting you to track your years?
You don't have everything. Nothing's private, so to speak. Everything
Hmm.
you've done is recorded.
Yes, that's true.
Everything. Yes, you don't have to worry about them missing a beat, because,
Okay.
yeah, there is
Okay.
money.
Okay. Yes.
It's the
Yes.
government and it's money.
And it's money. So yes, they are going to
Keep
they're
up
going
with
to be there, right? Keep up with you. So I'm
you.
sure you will get to this portion later about spouses, or if you are collecting spousal benefits, if your spouse
Mhm.
is deceased
Mhm.
and maybe your benefits might be higher than your
Mhm.
spouse's or lower or whichever. And so um, how should a person decide? I mean, most people are going to decide to take the maximum benefit,
Mhm.
especially if they're retiring early. But if
Yes.
you're both at retirement age, then I guess that would make a difference too.
Yes. When you're both at retirement age, you both will get your benefits because it's something that you earn.
Hmm.
It's something that
Hmm.
you definitely earn.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And then if you have a spouse that's deceased and you're collecting their benefits, but let's
Mhm.
say you're not, well, let's say that you are retired, that you're semi retired.
Mhm.
And so you're collecting your spousal benefits. So it would be the same thing. They would go back and take that spouse's entire work history
Mhm.
and bring it up to current date of the time of the deceased and when you're going to start collecting
Mhm. Now that one
and
I
do that.
have to research a little bit more
Okay.
because yeah, that one I have to research a little bit more. And
Okay.
we can bring that one back up.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing too that once you start receiving your
Mhm.
Social Security, you can't give it back. You can't say, "Oh, this is not really enough money, and I'd like to go back to work full time or
Mhm.
part time." And I know that
Mhm.
they give you so many hours, or no, so they give you so much salary
Mhm.
that you can work if you are like semi-retired and you say, well, if you want to work, you can work, but you can only make this much money. And I know that if you go over that amount,
Mhm.
pardon me,
Mhm.
that you have to pay back $2 for
Mhm.
every dollar
Mhm.
over
Mhm.
that you make.
Mhm.
So most people
Yeah.
don't want to be in that situation, but can you decide at some point, say, oh, I've been collecting for a year and this income is not really sustainable enough
Mhm.
for me. So can you decide that you want to stop your benefits
Mhm.
and wait until it accumulates more?
This is what you can do. There's a couple of things you could do, but if you change your mind about starting your benefits, you started your benefits, you can cancel your application for up to 12 months after you become entitled to the retirement benefits.
Oh, okay.
So this
Mm-hmm.
process is called a withdrawal, and then you can
Okay.
reapply later. So you are
Okay.
limited to one withdrawal per lifetime.
Mm, okay.
Now, this is where entrepreneurship is wonderful
Mm-hmm. Yes.
because
Okay.
yeah, because you can get your LLC, you can get your 501(c)(3), you can get your corporate, what is it, the S corp or whatever.
S corp.
You can
Mm-hmm.
you can have your own business entrepreneurship and everything go up underneath that and not even be attached to you.
Okay. But it has to be a LLC or 501(c)(3) or an S corp.
And all
Okay.
of that
And
will
all of that money comes to you and it won't affect your Social Security. There are no penalties attached to that.
because it's the business that's getting it,
Hmm.
and you can pay yourself out of from your company.
Hmm. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there is a way to have a better retirement time.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That's good information.
Hmm.
That's real good information to know.
Yeah,
Um,
because whew, when you look at Medicare and what
hmm.
comes out automatically out of your Medicare Social Security check,
Hmm.
it's almost like poverty. People are living on poverty.
Yes, and that's the portion I do not understand. I don't imagine though that it's going to change because it's been this way for, I guess,
Ever.
since right, since its inception. But do you have to take the Medicare insurance, or if you find an insurance where the premium is more affordable for you, can you decide to take that insurance instead of taking Medicare insurance?
You have to have Part A and Part B and
Hmm.
Part D. Now, of your and Part B is a premium that you can't get out of. So
Okay.
that premium you're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
And the Part D you can't get out of, because if you don't have either one of those, you're going to be penalized.
Mm. They
And
penalize you.
you're going to be penalized if you
Wow.
don't have it. So is Part B right now is at $170.10 per month. That comes out of your Social Security check
And
for
that's
your medical insurance. Yep,
for your medical insurance. And that's for everyone across the board, no matter
everyone.
how large or small their benefit.
Everyone. Now, there's some people who may be paying a little bit more because of their salary based on,
Mm-hmm.
what their Social Security is. But for the most part, the majority of the people are paying 170.10, and that's the lowest. And then
Mm-hmm.
we go up.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a scale. So if your
Wow.
income was at a certain, it can go up. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, your average person will be paying a minimum of 170.10.
Mm-hmm. And you said that's only for one part of it,
That's only
of
for part
Medicare. That's only for
your
part.
your medical.
Wow.
Now Part D, which is your
Mm-hmm.
prescription drug part, you
Mm-hmm.
have to have that, which means that you have to go out and you have to pay a premium for Part D.
Mm-hmm.
And the premium, depending on what medications you take, that
Mm-hmm.
premium will be high or it
Yes.
will be low.
Below. Mm-hmm.
But if you have a lot of medications or different types of medications that you have to take, you may find yourself with a pretty high premium because you want to cover your prescription drugs.
Right. Yes.
So
Wow.
that's why it's so important to maintain your health. And
Mm-hmm.
right, I showed someone my vitamins. I said I'd rather have a container of vitamins like I have
Mm-hmm.
than have a container of medications that I have to be concerned about,
Right. Because
making sure
simply,
I can pay for
right, making sure you can pay for them, and then the side effects
them. Mm-hmm.
also of so many medications that people take. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you take a medication to offset the side effects of the medication that's dire, that you have to take this every
Yes.
day, but because of the side effects, oh, here's another med that you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to take that's going to not eliminate the side effects but
Mm-hmm.
control them to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
whoo,
That's
my
all it's doing.
goodness,
Yep. Putting a
that's all it's
buffer.
doing. Yes, yes. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't heal you. It doesn't necessarily make you better, and it doesn't necessarily increase the possibility of the longevity of your life.
No.
But without both of them, the one that you really have to take, and then the one you're taking to counter, counter to
Mm-hmm.
counter the side effects of the
Mm-hmm.
medication that you have to take. I mean,
Right.
it sounds like a do or die deal.
It is, and
You know.
especially when you have to have the Part D, and if you don't get that Part D, you will be
Hmm.
penalized for the rest of your life.
Wow.
A
Amazing. Woo.
1% penalty. Yep.
Wow. Hmm.
So you
Okay.
have to make sure you have it.
You have to have that. So there's
Hmm.
no way getting around
Not
Medicare. You
getting around
have
Part
to.
D. Yep. Yep. But there are plans, and we call them Medicare Advantage plans, because with
Okay.
your original Medicare, that's Part A and Part B. Part B, I just told you the premium of that, the minimum
Hmm.
premium. Um, and you don't get any extra benefits. So this is telling you another thing. If you want dental work done, it's out of pocket. If you want
Wow.
eyeglasses, it's out of pocket. Don't make, if you have to have a hearing aid, that's out of pocket. If you want to go to the health center, that's out of pocket because you have to have sorry, your
Okay.
fees for that, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
health club. So everything that you do is out of pocket. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're on a pension, I mean, or a social security,
Yes.
and you have
Wow.
to eat.
Right.
You
Now,
have mortgage, or no, hopefully no mortgage. You
right.
have your place, your taxes. If your place is totally clear and free,
Right,
you still
right.
pay
You still have to pay taxes
taxes.
every year. Yes, yes. Now, I had
So,
one person tell me that if you are drawing Social Security, that they automatically give you link. Well, in Illinois, that's what I was
Mhm.
told, that you automatically get link. Is that true, or do you have to apply for it separately?
You have to apply, and everyone does not qualify for that.
Seriously?
No,
Wow.
no, it is it is crazy. The
Wow.
when you really sit down and you start talking about it with people,
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know this."
Hmm.
I'm like, if you're 60, 61, 60, if you're in your 60s, talk to me. Start talking to me now. I'm so
Yes.
knowledgeable about the Medicare and what options are out there and what it's all about.
Hmm.
And it's just it's eye-opening and it's confusing. When you
Hmm.
turn or when you're about to turn 65, you're gonna all of a sudden get bombarded with all this material and from different
Hmm.
companies, and they're saying different things, and you're like, well, what in the world? What do I do? What is
Right.
this? What is that? What is part A? What is part B? What is D? So
Hmm.
you're totally lost and you're totally confused because you're
Hmm.
hearing different things from different companies, and so
Right.
you don't really, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
you don't really know
Right.
what um, what to do. So
Hmm.
I'm trying to get it out there, to my friends that are 64,
Hmm.
getting ready to turn 65, and those that are, turning 65. You have 3 months before you actually turn 65 to make sure that you are set up for your Medicare. You're going to get that
Hmm.
red, white, and blue card in the mail from the government before your birthday, and you're like, well, what is this card about?
Hmm. Hmm.
With the effective dates on it, so it's
Yes.
yeah, white and blue card. Yay,
Yes.
here I'm gonna be better off. Yeah, some things you are, but then if you don't, realize. So this is when people say, okay, um, Medicare, original Medicare is Part A and Part B. A is
Hmm.
your hospital insurance, B is your medical insurance, right?
Hmm.
But it's still a copay or 20%. Okay, so they do 80, you do 20.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do 20%. What if I'm in the hospital? What if this happened to me? What if my bill
Right.
goes to $50,000? Well, guess what? After all
Hmm.
your deductibles, you're going to have to pay 20% of that 50,000.
Wow.
So that's when people say, well, I'm just going to get a supplement. And that supplement
Hmm.
is going to take care of the 20%. True,
Okay.
it will. But guess what?
It
You also
costs.
need dental. You also need hearing.
Right.
You also
Hmm.
need glasses. You also need other things, right? But that
Hmm.
supplement is not
Hmm.
going to take care of that.
Right.
But there are Part C. You have your
Hmm.
Part C, which is your Medicare Advantage plans, which includes Part D at zero premium.
Oh, okay.
And win-win. You can get your extra benefits. You can get your Part.
Okay.
You can get your fitness. You can get an
Mhm.
OTC card, which is an over-the-counter card. Some companies give you
Oh,
um, every quarter, and that's 4 times a year. Some companies
mhm,
give you $60 a quarter. Some may give you 75. Some may give you 100.
mhm.
Highest I've seen is like $130 a quarter.
Really? Wow.
Yep, over the counter items. So,
Wow.
if you need, depends or anything like that, that card can.
Mhm,
So these are the extra benefits that you can get with the Part C, which also includes your Part D.
mhm.
Yes, so people are gravitating towards
Wow.
these Medicare Advantage plans instead of
Mhm.
the supplements now, because a lot of the times you can see your doctor for zero premium. You can
Oh, that's
um,
good.
yeah, your
That's good.
x-rays and things like that, zero co-pays, and it's wonderful. So
Mhm.
what um it offsets what Medicare, original Medicare, would not do,
Does
especially
not
when it
do.
to those extra benefits. This year, we helped people get $5,000 in dental.
Really?
Yes, I could get my teeth done
Hey. Yeah.
good. He's coming back. He's coming back.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
it's like I get my teeth. I'm gonna look good. It's like yes,
Yes.
it's put money
Hmm.
back in their pocket.
In your
Some people
pocket.
paying okay. Some people are paying more than what they should. Some people have a pension, right? And some people have Social Security, and they are getting their group um, from their job.
Hmm.
They may be paying a Part B from their job, and the government is taking out the Part B.
Oh no.
Some people are paying double and don't know it.
Wow. And nobody jumps in to tell them this
No,
information.
because people
Social
feel like
Security
their
wants.
job is paying for their insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But their job is not paying for it.
For their insurance, right?
You work for Social
Ooh.
Security, and Social Security is already giving you that same Part B.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Wow.
group insurance is not, it's a group. It's a
Right.
group, the group insurance. So it's not individualized. So with
Mm-hmm.
the MAPD plans, they're individualized where you can pick a plan that fits your needs. Every
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
single year, the plans change. So every single year, you can look at a plan that meets the needs that you want. So next
Mm-hmm.
year, people that have the 5,000 in dental may not need that, and they may look at a
Mm-hmm.
different plan that's going to suit, their needs in a
Mm-hmm.
different area, or they may keep the plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. So now
Mhm.
Medicare, you only qualify for Medicare at the age of 65,
Mhm.
right? So if you
Mhm.
take early retirement
Mhm.
and you need medical care, what are the options for people who've not yet reached age 65? Let's say they took early retirement at age 60, like you took yours at 56, which was really
Mhm.
early.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what are some of the options for medical care
Mhm.
for people? I know in Illinois they have county care, I think, which almost anyone can qualify for.
Mhm.
And is it the same? Well, I know it's not the same from state to state. I've already looked that up. I know it's not the same from state to state. So,
Mhm.
what can a person do that's semi-retired, took early retirement, but they're not yet 65,
Mhm.
and they don't qualify for Medicare, and it's
Right.
hard for them to get insurance elsewhere because they're in their late 50s or 60s?
Mhm. Well, everyone has to go to the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to go to the marketplace, which is your health care marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And then in there, and if you have, like with me, I went to the marketplace, and but my, Chicago public school system does have a wonderful plan for individuals if they want to use that plan before they reach 65. So we did,
Mm-hmm.
of course, we had Cobra for 18 months, and then after Cobra, you can just switch over to the group plan for
Mm-hmm.
health insurance, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty penny. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a pretty
Yes.
it's not cheap, but you can also go to the marketplace. The
Mm-hmm.
marketplace is scary, and I say it
Mm-hmm.
like this because when you start looking at the deductibles and you
Mm-hmm.
want a smaller premium, so
Mm-hmm.
you have to say, okay, do I want a larger premium and a lower deductible, or a higher
Right.
deductible and a lower?
Yeah.
So you have to look and weigh
Mm-hmm.
because the
Mm-hmm.
deductibles can get
It's
up
crazy.
to 7,000, 8,000.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
So, yeah. So you have to kind of like say, okay, am I willing to pay a lower premium for a higher
Mm-hmm.
deductible,
Right.
or vice
Or
versa?
vice versa. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
is really scary. That is really scary. And then I know when you reach out to the marketplace, everybody starts calling you. Your phone is dinging and ringing, and you're getting text messages because you
Mhm.
can't fill out the form without submitting, your contact information. And
Yes.
so it's just, oh my gosh, it's like an
Mhm.
ocean, an overwhelming ocean.
Yes.
Everybody's reaching at you, grabbing at you. You need this, you need this, you need this. You better get it. We have the best plan. It is
Mm-hmm.
scary. It is
Mm-hmm.
scary, but it's
Yeah.
better to have some insurance than no
Oh yeah.
insurance.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
have something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from what I'm told, you can be penalized if for not having it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of people are like, look, I'd rather pay out of pocket to go see the doctor because I don't go
Mm-hmm.
that much.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying more for the premium than I am actually going to the doctor.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
the people
Mm-hmm.
are taking that chance because it's just so ridiculously high.
Yes.
It is.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It really
Especially
just seems
young people.
unfair to I'm sorry, it really seems unfair to the American consumer, who's worked for 40, 50, sometimes 60 years. And
Mhm,
then this is the benefit that we
mhm,
get at the end. But the benefit doesn't justly benefit the person at
yeah,
that point in your life. All of the working years are behind you. Most people are looking forward to retirement, and not everyone has the ability to have a business or
mhm,
some other investment too. Some people may not even have a pension to look forward to at the end of retirement. And so it
mhm.
makes it really, really difficult for people to survive. And
Yes.
I know sometimes this is why we hear the stories of, the cat ladies,
Mhm,
the cat
mhm.
ladies, they're
Yeah,
receiving their Social Security benefits.
yeah,
They either don't qualify for Link, or the amount that they get is so small, it's still not enough to sustain them
enough.
from month to month.
Mhm.
They still go into the food pantries, and they're getting help like that. They may be getting Meals on Wheels if
Yes.
they're eligible for that. So those things help, but it
Mhm,
still isn't sufficient. It isn't
mm-mm.
a sufficient life to live
Yeah.
financially,
No, it's not.
and to have to depend upon,
Mhm,
family members and sometimes friends and organizations to help you
mhm.
out month to month to month. It
Right.
seems like our American government did not think this Social Security out.
Mm-mm.
Um, and from what I understand, that at its inception, it wasn't meant to be a long time forever thing.
Right.
Social Security.
Right.
It was meant to be a reprieve, I think, during one of the wars. I don't know if it was
Mhm,
World War One or two. It was meant
mhm.
to be a reprieve to help people in
Yes.
that season. But now
Mhm,
here we are now, all these years later, and I'm saying to my children, look, get your degree, work hard, or whatever trade you have, work hard, be conservative about how you spend your money, even in your 20s and 30s. When you're
mhm.
that young, you just think, oh, I have my whole life ahead of me. And,
Yes. Yes.
I want this and it costs $200, and I want this and I can,
Yeah.
splurge and get that. But be conservative about how you spend your money now, because it
Mhm.
will impact you later. It
Yes, and
will
also
impact you later.
good thing for the younger people to get is, a lot of times we think about life insurance as only being
Yes.
for burial or whatever, but no,
Hmm.
they're young.
Get
Um,
it now.
that's to get that life insurance then because you can
Hmm.
always get it where you can you can use it for later. Like
Right.
I don't want to. I guess I shouldn't say, but all our children and grandchildren have policies. And
Hmm.
our grandchildren reach a certain age, they're going to be set because I don't want to
Yes.
say the amount of their policies, but the, you know, with inflation by then it might not be
Might not be worth as much.
just enough to get by.
Right.
Because they're
True.
yeah, we get them when they get when they're babies because
With
you
the
can get
babies, yes.
$7 a month.
Right.
It's,
Everybody
yeah,
can afford that.
yes,
You can afford that. And
generational. Mm-hmm.
yes, generational wealth. And that's what I was going with. The word of God is believers. The word of God tells us to leave an inheritance for our children
Mm-hmm.
and our children's children.
Mm-hmm.
So, as grandparents, as parents, we have that
Yes,
responsibility to do that. And
yes.
even if you aren't a believer, if you're just a person with a good conscience, most of us,
Mm-hmm.
we want our children to live better lives than we did.
Right.
We want them to make more money than we did in our
Mm-hmm.
lifetime, because like you say, inflation is
Yes,
ongoing. It is
yes.
something that increases every year. And
Mm-hmm.
so you may get the cost of living wage increase, but
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes it doesn't match inflation.
Does not.
It might not match the same rate that inflation is going up. So
Yes.
whew,
Yes.
we
Mm,
have to know these things. And
sure do.
oftentimes we didn't learn these things in our earlier years, but whenever you learn it, the
Take
good
it
thing
and
to do
run.
is to right put it into practice whenever
Mm-hmm.
you learn it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's always
Yeah,
better to have something than nothing,
true. And
and
it's
to be
so true.
scratching, scrimping, trying to
Hmm.
make it. Oh my
Right. And
God,
when you're older, you can't live the quality of life, and that's the time when you should be enjoying it. You don't have
that's
any
true.
responsibilities as far as the children and things
Mm-hmm.
that you did when they were growing up, and then now
Mm-hmm.
it's the time that you can do that, and then it's like I can't do anything.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yeah.
that's no, no.
That's
God,
really
God
sad.
wants us to enjoy the whole time that we're on this earth.
That's
He gave
true.
it to us to enjoy. So.
That's true.
Mhm,
That's true.
mhm.
I think we might have time for one other question, a couple more, and I want you to finish. I know I started asking questions.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think I
um,
will be able to finish. You should see the number of pages in those.
yes.
So much
Oh,
information. And
yes. We can always
person,
do a part two.
yeah, yeah. And
Yes.
each person is individualized.
That's
That's why I
true.
say do your research first.
Right.
Do
Yes.
your research.
Yes. Do your
Hmm.
research. Yes.
Hmm.
What about those people that are in their elder years and they no longer have family, or their family is not capable of taking care of them? So they have to go into some kind of facility or nursing home. And I've worked in some of these facilities, as a CNA and as a caregiver, an elder care caregiver. Some of them, they're so, let me just use the word opulent when you
Hmm.
go into some of these senior care facilities. And some of these people there, they seem to be living like kings and queens,
Hmm.
in some of these facilities. They're
Hmm.
still living the lifestyle that they're accustomed to at the level. They
Hmm.
have a golf club, on
Hmm.
the grounds of the facility. There's a swimming pool, there's a rec center. They have
Hmm.
people to come in and do exercises with them and physical fitness and all of those things. So those are for the very, very wealthy that can afford to pay that monthly fee of living there. And I
Hmm.
mean, it is in the thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for them to live there monthly. But what
Hmm.
about your everyday average, working American? They worked, they did their 60 years, or their 50 years of employment. They took their retirement and now they're on Social Security. Where do they end up? And as we don't have the same type of facilities for people that
Hmm.
don't have money, just to put it plainly, for the poor. So does that facility take the larger chunk, the lion's share of their money for their living expenses, living in a retirement home or
Yeah, I mean, most of
student
them
care?
probably have both Medicaid and Medicare.
Mm,
And the Medicaid helps, to offset a lot of the medical part. It's almost like
mhm.
it is low subsidy supplement type,
Okay.
where
Okay.
they don't have to worry as much about not having, because it's going to offset it.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to offset it.
Whew.
Um, yeah, so there is help, but like I said, if you don't know
Mhm.
qualify for these things, or if you don't know what you can get, just
Mhm.
use
And
it.
you just
You need it
out
if you
in the
really need it.
cold.
You need it.
Right. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's there for
Amazing.
you. Um,
Mhm.
and there's different stipulations, but if you meet one of the requirements, then you qualify. So
Mhm.
it's just a
Okay.
matter of, like I said, do your research. And if you
Mhm.
know someone that you can research it for, do it.
Do
And
it for
then
them.
that's what you have agents for.
Mhm.
Um, we do cold calling, or we do calls of people that send in. They say, take my information because I want to find out more information. So we do that, and we talk to a lot of seniors, and they
Okay.
just don't know. But because they don't trust a lot of agents because they've been, I don't say
Right.
not ripped off because rate agents can't rip them off. We don't get paid by that client. We get paid
Mm-hmm.
by the government, but especially when it comes to Medicare or that type of service. But
Mm-hmm.
because some people are captive agents and they only are for that particular carrier, then they may
Mm-hmm.
be putting somebody in a plan that is not for that person in particular,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so they're not really getting the benefits that they need. And so they don't really trust someone that's coming and saying, hey, I can help you put more money in your pocket. Let me do the research
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get back with you. So it's a trust issue, building
Of
up a
course.
relationship and the help. And we've seen a lot of seniors helped out, but then we've seen a lot that the family would come in and say, don't talk to that person. We don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
Person
Mm-hmm.
has a relationship with us. And so they're like, but I know, this person and they seem to be okay, but we don't know them. So the children might come in and the
Mm-hmm.
children not understanding Medicare, Medicaid, and how it can help their parent out. They squash it.
Right. Yes.
Parent
Wow.
end up having not getting what they need. And the
Mm-hmm.
children think they're helping, they're shielding their parent from,
Mm-hmm.
but in some instances they're not shielding their parent from
Mm-hmm.
harm. They're shielding their parent from getting everything that they can get.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But like you said, it's really a miseducation and a misunderstanding, not
Right.
knowing, you know, social
Mhm.
security,
Yeah.
not being informed themselves.
Mhm.
And I imagine that you, of course, do invite them to the platform to say, hey,
Mhm.
let me sit down with you, with your parent, so that you
Mhm.
gain an understanding too. Because I mean, you're only there to give them the information. What they do with it
Right.
ultimately is up to them. But when
Mhm.
you know better, you do better.
That's it.
Some people
That's
just
it.
don't know better, right? Some people just don't know better. So,
Mhm.
do you find that there are groups of people um, that are less informed than others?
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
you know,
Yes.
mhm,
I don't want
mhm.
to say on here.
Right.
we we um we as a people, because we don't understand finance, because we don't understand how money works a lot of times, and then we're always looking at getting something from the government. We'll take what
Mhm,
they give us without looking for what else is there out there for me. Some
mhm,
people are savvy and they will go out and they will see what's what, and they'll get it. But then you
mhm,
have others, like I said, are shielded from getting what they need to get from their family members that are not knowledgeable about what,
mhm, mhm.
and they think they
Wow.
are. And it's yeah. So that's a large population of people that are not getting what they need to get.
Mhm, mhm. And so the truest form of help starts with education.
Mm-hmm.
And if they reject the education, then it's almost like they're cutting off their noses to spite their own faces without realizing that that's a predicament that they are putting their parents in or grandparents, their elders, and even potentially for themselves later.
Right.
Because if they don't know, if you aren't aware, then you're just going to repeat the process that you're accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
You repeat that. So
Yes.
that is unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. Wow.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to be mindful of the time here, but no, I don't think we'll be able to finish today. So if you are, but I mean, please share however much time you have. I'm open and available.
Okay.
Continue to
Okay. I'll let you
please
know.
share whatever information you have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if they have any other questions, if about definitely about Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're getting ready to retire and they want to know what's out there for them, they're, you know, all I can say is do your research on your employment part. Find out
Mm-hmm.
everything from the employer perspective, like even one insurance, the group plan that they have for
Okay.
employees. And if they don't have a group plan, then you definitely know you have to keep the Part B for Social Security, but you don't have to keep the Part B from your job.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, so yeah, but you have to give up one or the one, and most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, you the um, Medicare on the red, white, and blue card Part B is what you have to keep.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a lot. So we can talk just about Part A, what you can get, what Part A is all about, because Part A
Mm-hmm.
comes with deductible and a premium. Some people do have to pay a Part A premium. Not very many people have to, but then Part B
Mm-hmm.
comes that with a definite and deductible. And yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah.
Well, yes, I would definitely like to explore, more of this, and just have people be informed so that they
Hmm.
know what route they should take to
Hmm.
map out the best plan for them. Like you said, the best time to start. If you're nearing that age or at that age, do your research, do your personal
Hmm.
research.
Hmm.
I had to do it for myself,
Hmm.
and I still have questions.
Yeah,
I
yeah. You will.
still have questions.
You
Yes,
will.
yes.
Keep
Okay.
asking the questions, keep doing the research, and then you'll feel really good about your retirement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna begin to wrap it up here. Like I said, unless there's more you want to cover now. I know you got your grandbaby, so I know that makes a difference.
Yes,
Yes.
she's been good. I have to. She's starting to rear it up.
Right. Yes, yes. I know how that can be. Like I said, I had both of mine a few weeks ago and was on a live and had to dart out. I was like, wait a minute, come back here. Where are you going? What are you doing over there?
Yes, it's time for her to have her lunch and everything.
Right. Yes, is that time. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I thank you so much
Oh,
for being on the show today. I just consider this, I say that etiquette plays a part in every part of our life. And, education is critical in all that we do. And so, for those of you, again, that might be nearing that age of retirement, thinking about retirement, or just having questions about it, tune in. If you didn't tune in, the replay will be up so you can also watch the replay and gather the information. But Maria will be back at another date and time, and I will inform you of when that date and time is so that you can come on. And please prepare your questions in advance so that we know what to ask her. She's well equipped with all of the information. As she says, she is a licensed insurance agent. So she started with Medicare, talking about that part A, part B, part D, and then Medicare Advantage, the supplemental plans that we can take advantage of. As far as your medical needs are concerned, your dental, your eye care, things like that, you will be paying out of pocket for those care plans. But rewind, be kind, rewind, watch the replay, and then again, I will let you know when we will be back again to take up part two and discuss some of the things that we were unable to discuss on today. So thank you so much for being a part of the platform. Please like and share across your various social media platforms. And um, we will be back again with a part two about Social Security benefits. Is it a yay? Is it a nay? Or is it a not now? And how you can avail yourself of information that's going to help to make your benefit work better for you, and the various insurance plans that we are required to have, that you are required to have when you are drawing your Social Security. So, anyway, again, this is Lady Victoria, part of our health, wellness, and even financial program that I run sometimes on here. And in that program, I will do just what I did today by inviting special guests that are experts in their field where I am not. But we will have these young men young ladies and perhaps some young men also come on and share this information with us. So thank you so much for being a part of the platform. Again, please like and share across your various social media platforms. Lady Victoria, where we offer a solution to your many etiquette dilemmas. Until the next time, this is bye for now. Be blessed.